Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. We're gonna showcase Adventurer Raz today. PvP showcase, mainly Guild War and Arena. He is very good. On his announcement, I made a video on my initial thoughts on SC Raz, and I was saying that there's definitely a potential that he can actually make a way into this meta, like he's actually usable. Amazing thing about him, of course, is that he is the free hero you get when you start the game, and now with his specialty change, I mean, he's definitely not one you want to overlook. If you guys are here and been watching my YouTube videos for a long time, you would know that I often say that, oh, this specialty change is really good, I think I'm gonna build it. So for example, like Helga, SC Helga, really, like on paper, I think that she was going towards the right direction, but a lot of the specialty change heroes, their biggest struggle is not being able to have enough like HP, defense, tanky stats to make them usable in the 5-star meta, which the 5-star and the 4-stars obviously have higher base stats, even if it's the same class, same star sign, just higher base stats. And then just even with the I-90s, it's really hard to bring in like SC Helga to make her like mainstream. You would have to build it really tanky or really fast. Like you're either like one of those options. But SC Raz, because of his specialty change, he gets a huge pool of HP. I believe he is the second knight to have the highest. He's like the second highest HP knight. The first being Eaton, because of Eaton's S2 passive. But specialty change Raz, or Adventurer Raz, gets it in his specialty change, his tree. I won't go into detail on this. I mean, if you guys know Raz, I mean, he's pretty easy to specialty change as well. His S3 increases defense to all allies now as part of his specialty change, and then he does damage proportional to his max health, and he also heals himself according to his max health. It's actually quite a lot of heal. I don't know if my clips will showcase it a lot, but when the last time I ran it, I got like a 4,000 heal, which is a huge amount of heal. It's definitely no joke. But now he's a 2-turn two-turn defense buffer for your entire team. So then he's up there now with Alencia and Crow. Defense buffs being really good, of course. And then the S2, if you use it, is a dual attack. But if you use it, it only requires 10 souls. It reduces the skill cooldown by 2 turns, and it's a 3-turn cooldown. So realistically, you can spam this. That means he's very usable in like a long drawn out fight, like in the Abyss. I just used him today, actually, upon making this recording. Used today to take out 4 out of 5 bosses in Hell Raid. The only reason why I didn't bring him to Queen is just because I didn't even have him geared during my Queen run in this month. But I think next week for sure bringing him. And then now he can do up to a 60% chance to defense break on this turn before triggering a dual attack from the highest attack ally. It's just incredible to have, especially having a 60% defense break possibility. Very good. And then this one has a 75% chance to dispel a buff on the S1. Very nice to have as well. You guys will see it in the PvP clips. Of course, I will be commentating on top of them, so I'll explain what's happening and how is he being used. I love them so much that I did go and spend all the catalyst to get him maxed. I will get this last 10% damage. I mean, realistically, if you use him in PvP, every bit counts. And it's because it's free, no mola required. Another reason you want to look into Raz is because no mola required. At this point, we don't have any real hope of some mola gore refund, mola gore readjustment, or rethinking of how the system works. So we're kind of stuck with either if you're a whale, you buy mola packs. But let's not talk about that. His self-imprint is not even that bad. I mean, for him, I mean, everything he has scales on his max health. So 720, although 720 now with his new base stats, because of the specialty change, is very low. It used to be very high, but no one really used Raz until his specialty change. But I mean, it's still good to have. If you wanted to put this onto the entire team, also good to have. It just depends on the fight. I kind of prefer it on himself. So with the new updates, it actually does show you the stats post self-imprint. So this is reflecting the 24,530 health is reflecting the 720 there. I'll show you guys the gear really quick, and then we'll go into the PvP, like I guess montage and commentary, and then I will wrap up on this. So here you go. So this one could use huge improvement. So first thing first, I put him on an immunity, and I didn't really think much about him until I tested him. Therefore, the 67 gear, this one, realistically for 67s, that's not bad. But now with 88s and even 90s, there's just so much better options now. So for sure, this is totally pleb. This was purely chasing for the speed, because that's what I thought I really wanted, but I think I could get the speed elsewhere. For example, like this one doesn't have any speed, so this one's just a complete immunity set. This one I actually I-90'd because I felt that this had a really good distribution of substats, that it was all usable on RAS. Again, the def break on the S2 and the strip on the S1, so 79% effectiveness there. This one was free, 65, so you know, I think it's okay. It's got some wasted stats, so potentially in the future I will also change that out. So the effect resistance not really needed. I mean, 37 effect resistance is not going to get me anywhere. The crit chance is not needed. The 10 speed is nice. The 21 effectiveness is nice. So eventually I will get an upgrade. This one I'm okay with. I 90 this one as well, just because of the 13 speed, 29 health, and with the 9 effectiveness, I thought this was okay. So those two pieces, I-90, he shows a ton of potential. So I'm going to show you guys the montage right now, commentate over them, and hope you guys enjoy this, because I really like him. I can't stress this enough. If you guys haven't seen my A13 video, even though it was really talking about Spec Tenny, I guess, but he was really featured in it. I use him everywhere now. Again, like I said, Hell Raid, now GVG. I also use him in RTA. In one fight, I won, and I think he was the winning condition. The def buff with the dual attack turn really put a dent into the enemy, but I don't have that on a video, so perhaps in the future I'll have more. But anyways, enjoy the PvP montage here. All right, so this is the first fight here. I mainly experimented with him in GVG first, and then brought him into arena, so SC Raz, of course. This comp versus Peppy. He's a top player. This is a Guild War versus Talentless. His heroes hit really hard, really well geared, and I thought about this, you know, going with this team because one of my guildmates actually did as well, and he went with DN as well, I think. Actually, I don't remember. I think he did, yeah, just to get the attack buff up. And for this fight, I did make my DN slightly lower HP. Sorry, slightly lower speed, but more HP. The greater attack buff on this one, on that Kayron, was very unfortunate, very risky. But there's not much I could do with that Kayron there, especially he countered. The good thing is that my DN actually had a cleanse here as well, very good. But the Ras was in high danger here because of the Kayron. I think he didn't end up critting this one. Yeah, he didn't crit. That can't be a crit. And then Charles goes into DN, but can't strip. High resist DN. Yeah, very fast Kayron. It was actually very scary. I looked at the turn here, and I'm like, yeah, Kayron, he can die here. But I had my turn with A Ravi as well, so I was just gonna knock out that Charles there, which I did get on that dual attack actually. This yeah, so SC Raz, very good to have. Defense buffer, that strip, that violent, that abyssal proc was very harsh. So this is actually my first fight ever to use specialty change Raz, and he proved to be worth it. After running this against a player like Peppy, I was more confident to use him in the following videos. So you guys will see those fights. Yeah, the S3 heals, like I said, heals really well. Very cool there.
Should we get started?
I'll just let you guys see this. So you can actually death break him as a Rado. He won't return it until after the dual attack is over. So if he dies from the dual attack, like with the death break, he won't return it. So that's actually pretty cool. So this is actually the same Guild War versus Talentless as well. Let's fight again. I was just experimenting. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? We got a Charles. You know, let's bring Roz again because he's a fire hero. We bring Robbie because you could, you know, bait the Mersa. And with my Aoe build at the moment at this Guild War, she has a 1400 defense with the defense buff. It's like not much is going to go through her in terms of damage. So, and with Aureus, Max Aureus on the Roz, there wasn't much that this team could do, but it was really cool because you get to bait with a dark bait, and you get to kind of force bait, I guess, the Charles. But the good thing about the SC Roz is, again, he has his own CR manipulation, and then of course the dual attack, which comes in handy.
I'll protect you. I hope you're ready.
That actually got the death break, so that's actually really cool. Yeah, there's not much in this team that would be able to do much, especially after the Charles had died. Anyways, everyone knows like not to really like poke Mersa when you unnecessarily need to. I think I ended up allowing the counter to kind of default kill her, but realistically I was kind of trying to just avoid the dual attack. DN is really good on this one again because I didn't see that Charles surviving basically Robbie's turn, and then SC Raz dual attacking into Charles, and then Robbie again with an attack buff from DN. So DN was very safe on this one versus Charles, that is. Generally, I don't think people would run a DN into a Charles. You're just really asking for trouble. Unless you got a really good tank and your DN can't be stripped. So praying that the anti-crit buff keeps Charles' damage away.
If I must fight.
But again, SC Raz here, able to do anything really. I could have dual attacked it, but I wanted to collect more souls because basically I wanted to burst down that Mersa quick. So I wanted to collect the entire time DN, all she was pretty much doing was collecting souls. So I could just dual attack, dual attack, dual attack, dual attack.
Should we get started? Take this.
That death break came in handy as well. And then she got her own turn. And there's not much a Mersa can do in terms of like, because she's a thief, there's no way she could really sustain too much damage over time. But yeah, again, more souls, more burn.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, you're evading it, but still too much damage. And the counter was the end for this one. First time I think you guys will see this comp that I'm using here, Roz with ML Angie and A Robbie. Again, I think Roz with A Robbie and the healer. Doesn't matter if it's DN, Akates, ML Angie. Very solid team. I love this one. I think I do have a potion vial on my ML Angie here. But it doesn't really matter because this is really a SC Raz showcase. Again, providing a death buff, very good for that initial hit. But it didn't matter because I got the dual attack. The dual attack was the key to beat this one. Ideally, the A Robbie wasn't the one stripped, which I guess there's really no avoiding it. But if she had an attack buff up from ML Angie, it would have been quicker. Yeah, and then of course the ML Angie preventing the Maid Chloe here from reviving. Very good. This one, he had a greater attack buff, and I still survived. But again, specially change Roz has a very high HP pool, so very nice. Again, dual attack on that, and the one that kills gets the heal. My Roz was actually completely safe because ML Angie becomes ML Angie becomes the bait for ML Chloe. So it was just kind of scary because of my what do you call it? My low HP and he's on an Aureus. So over time, yes, you could chip it down. The effectiveness on my Roz, as you guys saw on the stats page, was really high. So even though I think Dot's story does run high effect resistance Maid Chloe, it wasn't high enough. But yeah, that's it for this. So again, this is another member in Boba. My Roz at this point was actually a bit slower than the one featured in the stats page. It's about 106. I get the first turn, and I'm like, okay, yeah, free defense buff. It's perfect.
Can stop me.
The risk is the Charles gets a strip, but he didn't. And anybody is to go here. I had to put the invincibility on my Akates because of the problem with the Keiron. He literally could go for anyone, depending on if Charles crit like Akates. He could S3 her. It ended up being a pretty decent strength Keiron, I remember. But again, no, actually, it's not that high. But this hit hard. SSB, always pretty annoying. Unhealable there, and I would always risk my Raz here, going for the. Oh, that strip was good too. I remember that. That strip was good. Showcasing SE Raz's S3 or S1. His dual attack, again, very nice. Defense break, that's instant kill right there, even with an attack buff. Saving that cleanse on Akates was the right move. Got that full cleanse. The defense break is gone. And although it is on Alexis basket, even with the greater, I don't think he would have died. My Ravi has, yeah, again, 1400 defense. And has Draco Plate, so reduces the damage taken from Raz's Aureus. This one was a bit risky, but I was thinking it doesn't matter because I could literally force the Keiron, and if my Raz like died, I could just revive. Like it wouldn't matter. Like Akates and Aoe would be able to solo this like 2v2. Would be able to do it for sure, especially that Keiron already uses up his S3 on this turn. What's funny is that he didn't crit, so my Raz didn't die.
I'll protect you.
Again, it's just like extra flex to make Raz look really good. I think I do end up killing up the Keiron. I think the speed demands it. No, I didn't. I went for SSB. Oh, I'm surprised. Oh, I think I remember why. Yeah, I didn't mind the Keiron being alive. I wanted to take out the SSB as fast as possible.
I'll deal with this.
Yeah, it's funny I actually left him alive that long. Yeah, but I think I went for the death buff on this one. Oh wow, I didn't.
I hope you're ready.
What the heck? What am I doing? Wow, so confident. Yeah, there's no way he would die, and my Aoe would always be able to revive if I needed it. I think that's what I went for. I needed for sure revive. I think that's what I went for. Yeah. Anyways, that's it for that. So you can see in this again versus Carbuncle, also in Boba. These are meta defense teams that I'm bringing SE Raz into.
Should we get started?
Again, he brings so much utility, to your teams, and he looks cool. His SE animation is awesome. I like his voice lines too. Akates, of course, is a broken healer, and Aoe, of course, is really hard to kill. But if you pack that with SE Raz, with the S2 dual attack, it becomes... What the heck? Well, I didn't notice that, Carbuncle, your Charles has 9.5k HP. What? Pure damage? Oh, I think it's ungeared. I didn't notice this, actually. I didn't notice it during the fight.
Flies.
I think I still went for Charles first as a priority. Yeah. It was counterattack Charles too. What the heck? But it does like... What the hell? Well, I don't understand the HP there. The damage is not there either, so... But it's on a counter, so it has full counter gear. That's interesting.
Tell me what to do.
Regardless, this is not a... Yeah, it has counter gear. Oh, that hits hard. Never mind. That's relatively hard, actually. Never mind. Probably a DPS. Anyways, yeah, with a healer, it just depends. I think it's like more of like you swap a healer and you're fine. The thing is like SC Raz can be useful with Specteni as well.
I'll protect you.
The only problem with Specteni is that most of the meta defense comps run cleave teams, which is just not good for Specteni. Aoe is just safer. Again, the security blanket with the revive. And then if yours is tanky, doesn't take that much damage, your Raz should be able to like take all of that away. Especially if you have Draco Plate on your Aoe. So I really like this. I mean, just really 1 DPS, but technically 2 when you add Raz. I'll just let this play out. At this point, I think you guys are pretty familiar with the GBG fights. You kind of get the point. Next, after this, I will be showing the more of the arena fights. And honestly, I can make clips over and over and over, and you get the point though. I don't think you need that many videos.
Burn away the evil.
Yeah, I went for the defense buff here. 75% chance to dispel. I could have dispelled him, but it didn't really matter because he would have used the S3 anyway. So the defense buff was the higher priority on this one. Again, self CR boost on Roz, and if you build him fast, he will turn cycle really quick. Very, very nice to have.
Should we get started?
Realistically, he'll turn cycle faster than your DPS. So your DPS, if you're able to sneak in an attack buffer, your DPS should have the attack buff, and then he'll be able to like lap them and then do the dual attack. If you get souls on it on top, let's say you have the S10 with Toggle as Ancient Book, and you got an attack buffer in there, oof.
I hope you're ready.
You can just spam the S2 with an attack buff Spec Tenny, and you just keep going and going. It's crazy. Very good.
It'll be the last thing you feel.
Alright, so on to the arena stuff versus backseat. This one was a really, really fine comp. I looked at this, I'm like, okay, relatively meta defense comp, right? We got a Bazaar, we got an RB, we got an ML Ken, we got an MLCC. Pretty standard. So here, I'm bringing, of course, Lidica to take out the Bazaar, and my SC Raz is faster than ML Angie here. ML Angie being really important on this one, of course, the RB. And he's able to break the skill null, and then also do the death buff. Very nice to have. And also it's because the Aoe attack as well. So kind of like unlike Krau's S2 is a single target push back with shield buff. Raz is able to break skill nulls. Very nice to have. Attack buffer in ML Angie, and is able to take out that RB in one shot. Soul burn is perfect timing as well. Just enough skills to soul burn this, so you could do strips. You could do really much anything. I wanted to take out that Bazaar. I think Bazaar was the highest priority. I don't want anything to be stripped, and of course, no dual attack RNG like you can with a Lilius. You know that the highest attacker will always be the one dual attacking with Raz. And then Raz is able to also keep up immunity buffs. 2-turn immunity buff on the S2. Super nice. So in this team comp, I actually have 2 dual attackers. And I was lucky that the ML Angie actually procced his counter. So the dual attack wasn't on the Kayron. Although it didn't really matter, because if Kayron got his S3, which I'm actually trying to proc here from the ML Ken, gets his S3, then he can one-shot ML Ken. It would have been game over either way. And at this point, I'll just take out the Angie. The only necessary hero to take out ML Ken is Kayron's S3, which resets on his Immortal. This one just doesn't matter. Even if he has Sacred Sight, he would have died anyway. But I countered him to death. So there's that. So that was this fight.
I always keep my word.
Another spicy comp. This one was a bit RNG on the first go here. Spec Tenny is featured here. She can't be hit by Sid. There was no way I'm gonna risk trying to outspeed 2 speed imprints on that Ruzid. So this one was pretty easy. You can't kill off General Purgus, too tanky. You can't kill off SC Raz, pretty tanky. You can't kill Kayron because Immortal. And then you can't kill Spec Tenny because she's unable to be hit. I was surprised my Spec Tenny was able to tank that. My Spec Tenny is actually very squish. You would see the HP. But yeah, the defense buff goes up and it self-heals Raz, as you can see. And this was pretty easy because Kayron is able to extend his immortality. I had attack buffer coming up in General Purgus, so it's really fun. And of course, forcing the bait. So after the first turn, which is really the wild card, everybody's gonna start hitting Purgus. So then I get multiple turns. So this was a really fun comp to come up with to try to take out the speed cleave team, which is actually very threatening, to be honest. Sid can hit for a lot now, especially with his self-imprint, the crit rate, so he can pack a lot of damage. The dual attack here, very good, because I know that it will go to my Kron. My Kron does have a lot more attack than my Spectenny, although realistically Spectenny would be the better one to dual attack because he hit 2 targets. That constant CR boost is good, because then we're also forcing Maid not to have enough turns to do another revive.
I'll protect you.
To get killed them off here, yeah. Spectenny OP. But yeah, SC Raz, man. SC Raz. Again, another really fun comp. This time, Spectenny as the solo damage dealer. But same concept, a lot of push. So just in case that RB was a cleave RB, the Lilius push would push the G-Pergus, and my ML would get a turn here. But again, I also am making a ML showcase video, so if you're wondering, just watch that one as well. I'll have those uploaded. But the attack buff goes on to the Spectenny, which is really good. Elber's Ritual Sword does proc on that S3, but it doesn't when you have the S3'd S1, then no one can counter you once that's activated. But I kind of banked on the Aureus on the Raz, and the defense buff on the Raz would have protected her. This one's unfortunate that I did get provoked, but there's not much I can do. There is 2 dual attackers here, so the dual attack, there's no way Spectenny would get hit by Charles at this point. So it's very safe, and there's no way he can strip the Immortal. And she's just too beefy for him to go through. So it ended up being a pretty free comp. I was kind of disappointed I couldn't use the dual attack for my Raz. Otherwise he'd be able to get 2 dual attacks in 2 turns. But again, this comp is very nice because you got the dual attack from the ML, you get the dual attack from the Raz. And then Spectenny hits 2 targets at the same time. So very, very fun. I can soul burn at this point. So it's just like everything is just getting melted. The poison's good on the Ravi as well, since it does HP damage. So it's a bit of chip damage, better than nothing.
I hate getting hurt.
I'll protect you.
At this point I don't have my attack buff, but yeah. That's it for this one. Very fun. This is the very last one. Again, running something similar here. The Fire Cecilia, because my ML Angie has no immunity, but everyone else does. For this fight, I ran ML Angie with a potion vial, so it didn't really matter.
Son of light. Burn!
And then Fire Cecilia, generally speaking, are high effectiveness heroes, so I didn't really expect to resist it. But the Potion Vial comes in handy there, as that was the only RNG in terms of, that's the only one that Potion Vial can dispel anyway. Everybody else is on immunity set.
I'll shatter.
Strip the immunity there. This was a bit clutch, actually, I have to say. But again, it goes to say that the defense buff on the Raz was really good. Breaking that skill null was very helpful. The RB did not crit. It was on Alexa's basket, I believe. But anyways, the RB was the highest priority here. I soul burned this so I can get the S2 back again. And at this point, then there's nothing much they could do. Once the RB was gone, the cleave threat was gone. And you get the dual attack again, like you guys seen. 2 dual attacks going into this. No one could get provoked because of the immunity buff from Fire Cecilia. The immunity buff came in handy as well on Raz's S2, as it does apply the immunity buff to the highest attack. or the one that he dual attacks with. So that that attack down from Fire Cecilia's S2 did not go off. Again, look at that, man. Look at that. So S10 really just has realistically, I have 3 S10s on this team if you count those dual attacks. That's it for this. That's it for the showcases, guys.
I always keep my word.
So that's my thoughts for Adventurer Ras. With my stats at my speed, I think Aureus is really good. With the comps that I took him in, obviously you guys saw, I think Aureus is very, very good. It does keep your team alive, and then with the death buff, of course, it lowers the amount he has to share in terms of the Aureus damage. If you guys watch my tournament and you saw Tatsuni, he's in Trap House, one of the top players. His SC Ras is on Hill Leg Lance, but he has the speed to actually merit it. I won't spoil it in this video because it's not talking about his Ras, but honestly, I really like this character. Very cool design as well, I have to say. Very cool design. He definitely deserves to be on your roster, so highly recommend you guys build him. Look into him, see what kind of gear you have left over. If you have over 250 speed, SC Raz, I don't think you need to give him immunity. Feel free to like slap him on a effectiveness set or something like that. But anyways, I'm gonna end this for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.